Welcome to the WHHI-TV Daily News. I'm Betsy McDaniel. As always, there's a lot to talk about in the Lowcountry today, so let's get started with our headlines. South Carolina is one of the many East Coast states who are offering Maryland any assistance after the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed Tuesday. Governor McMaster's office has contacted Maryland Governor Wes Moore's office, offering the assistance of the state's Emergency Management Department. But so far, Maryland has not requested any help. The collapse might be felt here in the Lowcountry, as there could be a change in volumes at the Charleston and Savannah ports, with ships not being able to access Baltimore's harbor. Well, unless you are visiting from New Jersey and purchased a ticket before you left the Garden State, you did not become a billionaire during this week's Mega Millions drawing. The winning ticket was sold in New Jersey after the Mega Millions jackpot had grown to $1.1 billion over the last few weeks. 13 others in 9 states, including Georgia, won at least $1 million by matching the 5 numbers, but not the Megaplier. Speaking of lottery winnings, you might remember that USCB had announced it wanted to build a sports and event center on its Bluffton campus, but they would have to find $11.5 million to do it. Looks like they have found a way by tucking the request into a $152 million appropriation of unspent state lottery money found by the Inspector General last December. The money became available because fewer lottery-funded scholarships were requested over the last few years. So in the budget the House sent to the Senate last week, half of the money will go to K-12 education, split between new school buses and classroom materials, and the other half will be split between the state's higher education institutions, including the $11.5 million for USCB's Sports and Events Center. There's still more than $6 million of money stolen by Alec Murdaugh that's unaccounted for, according to federal prosecutors. And Murdaugh flunked a polygraph test to tell them where that money might be. The news coming from a motion by those prosecutors who are asking for the maximum penalty of 150 years in prison for 22 counts of financial crimes that Murdaugh pleaded guilty to last fall. He's due to be sentenced next Monday in Charleston. Murdaugh had agreed to take the lie detector tests as part of the plea deal for his guilty plea, but then, perhaps not surprisingly, he failed them. If you've done any driving around Bluffton or Hardeeville lately, what the Island Packet recently reported will probably seem pretty obvious. More people are deciding to live on the mainland side of the bridges. Hilton Head's growth is only about 1% a year, while the rest of southern Beaufort County is growing exponentially. The paper cites anecdotal evidence that new residents are willing to give up easier beach access for less traffic, which is debatable, and lower housing costs, which is not. In fact, Zillow is estimating Bluffton homes cost $250,000 less than those on Hilton Head, and Hardeeville homes come in at $300,000 less. Many also bemoan the tourists on the island, citing the 7,000 short-term rentals on Hilton Head, compared to fewer than 300 in Bluffton and only a handful in Hardeeville. And as summer draws nearer, many high schoolers and college kids are probably looking for jobs. The Beaufort County Parks and Recreation Department just might have something that fits the bill. They are currently offering one-on-one American Red Cross lifeguard training. Participants must be 16 years or older, and the session is $175. But if they can commit to working for 6 months or more, the training is free. Pay is up to $24 an hour. For more details, head to bcsrec.com. And the media sources on your screen will have more on these and other stories, and we would love for you to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at WHHI-TV. And if you have an idea for a news story, we'd love to hear it, so drop us a line at news@WHHITV.com. And now here's Justin Jarrett with what happened last night in the Lowco.
Hey, it's time for Last Night in the Lowco on WHHI, powered by LowcoSports.com. It was Derby night in B-Town on Tuesday, with the May River boys soccer team making the brief trek up May River Road for the first leg of the Sharks' annual rivalry with the Bluffton Bobcats. The host Bobcats broke through first, but May River's Jacob Madeiros found the equalizer just before halftime and added the game winner early in the second to give the Sharks their 4th straight win over the Bobcats and their 8th in the last 9 meetings. Team Loco's Connor Worl gave us a full report plus post-game interviews last night on the LowcoSports Lowdown. Check it out on the Lowco Media Network on YouTube. We also discussed the Hilton Head boys' stunning 3-2 win over James Island behind a hat trick from Taylan Olcer, and USCB Sports Information Director Brackin Lambert joined us to recap the Sandshark men's golf team's triumph on their home course. USCB shot even par in Tuesday's final round to take the team title by 10 shots over D1 Drexel, with freshman Englishman Ellis Bright posting 8 under par over 54 holes to win the individual crown. The Sand Shark women tied for 9th among 22 teams at the Lady Bearcat Invitational, with McLean Neal tying for 3rd and Jessica Edwards tying for 9th. Our friends at Beaufort's Own were on hand at Beaufort High for a softball showdown with Elizabethton, Tennessee, which continued its successful spring break swing with a 6-0 win over the Eagles after taking down May River a night earlier. Tune in to the Lowco Media Network at 10 p.m. tonight to get caught up and see who shows up to talk local sports. For Loco Sports and WHHI, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, go Loco.
Thanks, Justin. What's our Easter weekend weather going to look like? Let's take a look with Maria.
Thanks, Betsy. Yep, so taking a look ahead, it does look like we're going to have another day of rain, but then the sun should be coming back out just in time for the weekend. So taking a look at Thursday, it's going to be scattered showers throughout the day, but it should be clearing up by the late afternoon. Hilton Head's going to have a high 67, a low 54. Bluffton's going to have a high 68, a low 52. And Beaufort's going to have a high 67 and a low of 53. The sunrise for Thursday is going to be at 7:16 and sunset's going to be at 7:41. Taking a look at the beach tides, high tide's going to be at 12 p.m. and low tide's going to be at 7:05 p.m. Taking a look into the rest of the week and into the weekend, Friday it's going to be sunny with highs in the upper 60s, lows staying in the 40s. Then come Saturday, it's going to be sunny with highs getting into the 70s, lows in the 40s and 50s. And then come Sunday, it's going to be partly cloudy with highs getting into the upper 70s, lows in the 50s. That's it for today. Let's head it back to the desk.
After a quick break, we get the latest from the Morris Center for Lowcountry Heritage. Stay with us.